Hi, and welcome to day 12. So this lesson is going to be pretty involved because we're introducing a project today. So today, day 12 is called Jamboard. We're going to be introducing the concept of Jamboard, and then I'm going to be walking you through the rubric and how to complete the project, which is worth 60 points. So step one is to navigate to Jamboard. The easiest way when you open up a tab into Google is if you go to the Google square of apps up by your icon. Jamboard is like a quarter of the way down, right there. You can also type Jamboard into your Google source search, and it will pull Jamboard up as the first option because it is a Google product. And you're going to go right to Jamboard. So you won't have any of these past histories unless you've used Jamboard before. You won't have anything in your file. I do because I've, of course, used Jamboard before. So what you're going to do to start your new project is to click the colored Google plus sign, which means new. And it will load a blank Jamboard. So step one, we're going to go and refer to the rubric for our project right here, number 2 in the folder. Okay, so the first step is to make our project in Jamboard. We did that, 2 points. The next step is to name our file, and there's a specific name. It's going to be last name dash first name dash time capsule, all spelled correctly, dash our period number. So going to come in here to my untitled jam, and I'm going to change that out for my first name or last name dash, which is above my P key, first name dash time spelled right with the capital T, capital C, dash my period number, period, and we're going to say I'm in period 1, and you'll put your, of course, information like that. I'm going to hit OK. I can now see that that's up there. If I need to fix it, if I realize I spelled something wrong or did something wrong, I can always click on it just like a Google Doc and fix it. Okay, that is step 2 on the rubric. So back to my rubric, and that's how I always work a project, by going right back to the source. I need to make a background. I can be basic and choose just a color that Jamboard provides me, or I can choose an image / wallpaper to make it a little more pretty. But if I do that, I must choose something that is not distracting and not busy, and we'll go through that in just a second. Also, your background cannot be black or white in nature, because you're going to be typing in black and there's going to be white. White is just plain, so it's not you adding anything. Okay, so I'm going to come into my project again, clicking over to my jam. My easiest choice, if I'm just like, I want to get this done, set background, and I can choose either the dots, I can choose the lined paper, I can choose the graph paper, I can choose gray graph paper, I can choose blue, and that's it. I cannot choose white, black, and I can't push this image button. So in black, white, and the image button off limits. I can choose any of the 5 that Jamboard gives me. Okay? If I'm like, I want something cooler, I can come to this image, add image button down here. Again, I'm on the left-hand side to do this. Google image search. I can think about what color I want to make my Jamboard, and I'm going to type the word wallpaper or background behind it. So I'm going to make one that is teal, my daughter's favorite color, and I'm going to say wallpaper. Okay? You can type wallpaper background, and it's going to bring up some options. I do want to be careful. Again, the project says choose something that's not busy, not distracting, not dark black. So like this option here with these fireworks would be horrible because I wouldn't see black font. Something with these giant balls, very distracting and busy. Same thing over here. You're not going to be able to see your writing on something like that. You want to search for something that is pretty much just like a gradient or just a hue of another color. So like things like this one would be good. This would be good. This even could be good. This one up here, not too busy. Just choosing something basic. Of course, I don't want to choose this librarian or this heavy plaid or this dark blue. Even don't want this car because I'm going to have things going on. So even if you love stormtroopers and you're like, wish I could put stormtroopers on my project, that's not going to be a good idea. You want to choose something very basic and plain. This just gives you some different options than what Jamboard gives you. That's really the sole purpose, is to find something a little prettier than the options Jamboard does. So if you notice, when I click insert and chose my background, it's going to put it right here in the middle. I'm going to drag it up to the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to put my cursor right there on that bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to drag it across my whole screen. Okay, so that it covers my whole board. And as you can see, now I have a nice, neat background on my Jamboard. Okay, and again, let me repeat that step. Repeat that step, repeat that step. I'm going to go to image over here on the left, search for a color in either wallpaper or background, choose something super not busy, insert, there it goes, put it up in the left, and drag from the bottom right across. Okay, so that's background. Next step, the title on my board is centered. It's the largest font on my page. It's at the top center or bottom center. I'm going to copy and paste it is the best idea, so everything is spelled and capitalized correctly, because I'm getting points for spelling and capitalization. So just highlighting this COVID time capsule, copying it, coming over to my Jamboard, going to the text box on the left-hand side, clicking on it, clicking on my jam so that the text box appears, clicking my mouse into the text box, Control V, our shortcut to paste, stretching it so it fits on one line, okay, centering it with the center button at the top, okay, and I need to make it a little bigger because it says that this font has to be the biggest on my page. And so I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to come up here to title, because it's my title. Okay. And I'm going to put it right here at the top center. You can also choose from the bottom center, your choice. Okay. But top and center is where I'm choosing. Okay. Next step on the rubric after the title. And do make sure that your title's in a single line. The questions or the headings that need to be on my project. So if I look at a finished version of the project right here, didn't mean to move that arrow. Okay. If I look at a finished version of the project, I can see that there are these black headings around the project. So it's like best thing that happened during quarantine, biggest change. So those are going to go on my background around the page in black text. Easiest way, again, is to copy them. Copy. And come over to my Jamboard, and I'm going to make a text box. I'm going to change the size right now because they need to be smaller than the title. I'm going to choose normal for these. And I'm going to then paste them into the box. Name. And once I paste them, I can then drag them where I want them on my box. But I'm going to drag them around. I'm going to do two in this video just to show you. So I'm going to come back to the rubric. And I'm going to copy the second one, which is favorite quarantine activity. Copy. Notice I'm not copying the numbers. Coming over here with a text box, pasting it into the text box, and then I can make them look how I want. If I want it to be wider, I can make it wider, and so on and so forth, and put it around my page. My next step, coming back to the rubric, so you're going to do that with all 7, is that you're going to have to provide responses for these questions or these topics. And you're going to do that on sticky notes. So the sticky note button is going to be used. We're going to make 7 sticky notes to respond to the 7 topics. You're going to make them large enough that Ms. Watts can read them. The sticky notes don't cover anything else on your Jamboard. You're using black ink, and you're checking for spelling and grammar. So I'm coming back to my project to see what that looks like. Sticky note tool is here on the left. I choose any color except clear. I'm going to do orange. That'll look nice on teal. Typing out the answer, making sure I capitalize my first and last name because that's grammatically correct. Once I hit save, I can hit cancel, and there's my sticky note. I can rotate them with this rotation button if I want. I can make them smaller if I want. I can even duplicate, delete, or change the order and space of them if I want with those menus. Okay, and I'm going to make one more for practice with you. Favorite quarantine activity. jogging. Okay, saving. And actually, you want to make sure I did this one wrong. You want to put a full sentence on this. So, my favorite activity during quarantine was jogging. Okay. And a period. Remember, period and capital letter at the beginning. Save. Okay. And I'm going to put that one right here to go next to the topic it goes with. They go right beside what they go with. Okay. And so I'm going to do that for all 7 as well. Sentences, grammar, spelling. Selfie. Okay. So if you've not made your Pixton character from our last extra credit, you'll need to make your character. If you already have your character, then all you need to do is reuse him. And then you need to choose a frame as well. So we're going to do the step of the frame first. You're going to click on this click for frames. What this is going to do for us is give us a frame for our selfie. Okay. So I went ahead and clicked on frames in the rubric. Frames. It's going to force me to make a copy of the Google slideshow where the frames are. Sorry, I'm outside. Make a copy. And that should be making a copy. Waiting. It's waiting. So while the internet is working on that, it's opening. I am going to actually get my Pixton character. So I'm going to come over here, images, from my Google Drive. I think is where I have my one saved. And you can always go back to your Pixton character and get it again if you don't have it anymore. And if you need to see that, I can help you with that. But I'm going to find her on my drive. And you can use either your full body or your there we go, or your headshot. I found my head first, so that's what I'm going to use, but you can use your full body too. So I'm going to insert her. So that's step 1 or 2, one of the parts. I'm going to make her smaller because she's going to go right over here by my name. Your character is going to go by your name. And I'm going to now, the copy of the frames doc is here. I'm going to pick one of these many frames that are options. I kind of like this one. I'm going to copy it, Control C after I click on it. Come over to my Jamboard, Control V to paste. And I'm going to shrink it to make it fit my head. And I'm going to change in space where my text box, my name, so it's not covered. I'm going to go to order and bring front so that you can still see my name there too. And maybe I'll make my little character, well, she's already in there, so it's kind of nice. Okay, and that is frame and my selfie. Okay, so going to the next step, which is images. I'm going to need 4 images in addition to my selfie that relate to my project. So right now, the only one topic I have right here is my favorite activity, which was jogging. So I'll show you with that. I'm going to go to images. And this time I'm going to go to Google search, unless I have a photo of me jogging, which I can use. But I'm just going to type jogging. You can choose real life or clip art. It's up to you. I kind of like, let's see what I like. I like maybe this little guy. So I'm going to choose him, insert. If I don't like that, there we go. Here he is. I thought he had a white background. If he has a white background, you can either remove the background or choose a PNG type file. And if you are struggling with that, I can also help. You find the right type of images, but this one has no background, so it fits nicely on my project. Okay. And the next step, so I need 4 images that relate to my different Post-it notes and place them by the Post-it note they go with. So I picked the 1 so far. I would have 3 more to do. The next thing I need to do is the collaboration and share. So Jamboard is made so that you can collaborate and work with other people, and all put your brainstorm and your ideas together. So we're going to practice how I would share that with friends, is that you're going to share it with 2 classmates. And you can get the email addresses from them either by typing in their first start of their email address, or if you need help with their email address, not only can I help you, but in Google Classroom, you can go under people to see how they spell their name if you're having difficulty finding them. So you can go into your class under people and you can see the list of students. So you'll see how to spell their names if you need help. Okay. And so you're going to share it with 2 people. So you're going to add them right here. Like I would share it with these 2 people, let's say. Okay. And I would click send. You might want to just make them viewers. That's an option so that they can't edit your project. Or actually, don't want to make them. You want to make them editors because they're going to have to edit your project. So share anyway. If it comes up with a message, yours shouldn't because you're in the network. Okay. So I've shared it. The next step in the rubric says that I get them to place a white arrow and a text box with their name, and they respond to something on my Jamboard, one of my sticky notes. So I'm going to show you on my finalized project. I shared it with 2 friends. They added the white arrow by going to shapes, choosing arrow. So 2 of the people that you added to this project are going to make a white arrow. They're going to then, once they make an arrow, add a text box to that arrow by clicking on text box. And they're going to write their response to one of your topics on your Jamboards. And the arrow should point. If you have to spin it, you can spin it using the spin it button. You should not cover up anything on the Friends project. So I've done my best to avoid covering anything. Okay, in the spaces. So make sure when you plan out your Jamboard, you leave spaces for somebody to somebody's to put arrows and answers. But I've responded to 2 things and I've pointed to what I'm responding to. So I read that Miss Watts was thankful. Melissa read what Miss Watts was thankful for during COVID, the health of her family. And she responded and said, me too. No one in my family has gotten sick. Melissa Jones. Miss Johnson responded to what I miss most from normal life. I miss being maskless. And Miss Johnson said, going on cruises. All my plans got canceled. Okay. So they added to my Jamboard with those white arrows. So going back to the rubric, the points are coming from, did I share it with 2 people? Did I get those 2 people to create white arrows with text boxes responding to some of my sticky notes? Did my collaborator leave a full sentence response and type their full name in the arrow? And collaborator does not cover any of the stuff on my project. 9 points. So these 9 points are coming from you not only receiving this feedback, but you doing this as well on someone else's project. So I will be looking for your name on someone else's project as well, showing that you collaborated somewhere else with a white arrow. Okay. And finally, how are we submitting this to the discussion board? So I'm going to come into the discussion board where you're sharing it. So in day 12, I'm going to the day 12 item that says the discussion board with the little text bubble like we know. Scrolling down to the submission part of the rubrics here too. Okay, so I'm submitting first a saved image of the post. So I'm going to come here to the comment box. I'm going to go back to my Jamboard. So I am going to go to the 3 little snowmen up here next to the share button, the 3 dots, more actions. The 3rd option down, which is save frame as image. Clicking on that, it's going to show that little pop-up that shows I've downloaded my picture. I'm going to come back to Schoology, file like we've always done before. I'm going to find my image. which is right here with my name, how it should be. I'm going to open it. And there it's going to be in the box. I'm going to type my name in the box. Ooh. Name in the box. I'm also, according to the rubric, going to paste the link to my project in the box, and I have to set a couple restrictions and change them. So I'm going to change restrictions to anyone with link, and I'm going to change anyone with the link to an editor. Okay, I'm going to click on share. Okay, I'm going to change the restrictions. Down here it says restricted, so I click on that. I'm going to change it to anyone with the link, and I'm going to change them to editors. I'm going to close, okay? And then when I hit share again, I'm going to copy that link, and I am going to come in to my discussion post. And I'm going to paste that link, Control V to paste it. And I'm going to click post. Oop, and it didn't make it a link, so I'm going to go back and edit that. I forgot what I had to do. I have to do one other step. In order to make that a link, I have to highlight it, add in Schoology. Let's see. Cancel. I'm going to cancel that. Let me delete my post. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, delete. Okay, let's try again. I'm going to come into the comment box. I am going to type my name. I see what I'm going to have to do in this version. I am going to come to my images, choose my image again, open. That's good. We're all good there. I'm going to come to this little square with an arrow, and it says link. That's where I'm going to paste my link, and I'm going to put my project as the title, or my Jamboard. My Jamboard, and my name. Insert, and there we go. I'm going to hit enter so it's on another line, and then I'm going to hit post. Okay, so there it is, and if I click on that link, Ms. West will be able to go to your project, and she will be able to see that you shared it with people, and she'll be able to see what you named your file. Okay, I can click on share and see that you did do the sharing and everything you needed to do. Okay, so that is what it will look like when it is finalized. If you have any questions, for sure, ask me in the next couple of days so that you are guaranteed that your project is correct before you click submit. Okay. Have a great day. The last thing you will need from me is attendance. So we're going to go over to the attendance item for day 12. Almost forgot to do that with everything else going on. Where's Miss Watts? Oh, there they are. Always so hard to find them. Where's Watts? Okay. And day 12. And day 12. Oh, this is a good one for this time of year as it's getting nice and warm outside. 3 words today, cabin on king for attendance on day 12. Okay. Have a great day, and I will work with you again tomorrow.